Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the Strength, Trunks and Mai unit and just how good they are in DBZ Dokkan battle after their Extreme Z Awakening. So basically we're going to take a look at just how good they are. We're obviously going to see whether they are viable after their Extreme Z Awakening. I think for most people they are definitely 100% viable. But it's going to be interesting to see just how good they are. Now, in terms of their changes, they are now a Time Travelers category lead of 150%, which is obviously pretty good. And they are also able to greatly raise defense on their 12 key, with a medium chance of stunning, as well as greatly raising defense on their 18 key, with a high chance of stunning. They have attack and defense of 70%, and they have Key +1 and attack and defense of 20% per Time Travelers category ally on the team, up to a max of 140%. They give superclass allies attack and defense of 30%, and they have an additional Key +6 and a high chance of evading the enemy's attack, including super attack when there is a future saga enemy. So it's pretty interesting, I think, overall. Their link sets are Brainiacs, Cold Judgment, Prepared for Battle, Courage, Dismal Future, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. And now in the Future Saga, Time Travelers, Join Forces Revenge, Battle of Wits, Warriors Raised on Earth categories. Overall, honestly speaking, they are pretty good, although they're a lot more restrictive than Zamasu and Super Saiyan Rose. And I think that's what people don't like a lot with them as a unit. Like, most times people are fine with how units function, except for when they are super restrictive. And these guys, even just having one missing Time Travelers unit does impact them a lot, and they do specifically need quite a few of their links active to really see big benefit out of them. But with that being said, I still think they have a pretty good EZA, maybe a bit more niche, but at least on the Time Travelers team, they are still a pretty good unit. It's just that, it does take a little bit more kind of effort and nuanced, specific team building, I should say, more than nuanced, but specific team building to get them to function at a pretty nice level. But yeah, overall, I do think they are serviceable. I think they're great. I like them because obviously Trunks. So yeah, we're gonna see just how good they are, and we're gonna see just how well they do. So in the first team that we're going to be trying them on, they are going to be on a Future Saga team, but not with full Time Travelers. So this is going to be, I think we are missing 2 Time Travelers currently on this team. So yeah, we are going to be slightly restricted in terms of getting the full passive. We're not going to be able to get absolutely everything we want, which is fine. That's more than okay. So we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to see just how good they can be, obviously all those factors considered. But yeah, overall, I think they are decent. I do think a lot of players should have a relatively straightforward time using them as a unit. I don't think they are difficult to use. I don't think they are easy to use, but I don't think that they are difficult either. Like, obviously, they're not necessarily a first slot unit. I think that's always something people don't like. But they do, carry their load quite a bit, especially in the second slot, where they can gain a significant amount of, power overall. So, yeah, in general, I would say they are definitely, pretty solid. Again, not the craziest unit, but I think overall, for me at least, they would have to be a pretty reliable unit to use. So yeah, for me, I like them. Obviously, one thing, they do have a stunning capability, which is going to come in handy for a lot of the content that they're doing, like SBR and ESBR. Defensively wise, they should be okay after super. They do greatly raise, which is a 50% increase, which is obviously helpful, although maybe not necessarily directly the most helpful, but it is still valuable. I think most players, you know, can see how well they do. Here we can see them in this situation. You know, they look okay, over 200 or so K defense, which is very good. Like, it's very good. It's just not as high as like Zamasu and, you know, Goku Rose, and I think that's kind of like the big factor here. Is not whether they are good. I think they are good after their EZA. It's just why are they not maybe as good as Zamasu and, you know, Goku Rose. And I think that's where people kind of feel a little bit like let down with them as a unit, is the fact that like one unit can hit like 800k defense and do 12 million attack stats, and these guys, you know, yes, on their team can hit around 8 million or so, which is good, but even after super, you know, with Cold Judgment and Brainiacs active and a dupe in them, they don't, you know, they like hit just over the 400k mark, which isn't bad. Again, it's not bad, it's just not as high as the unit that literally came out alongside them. So it's a little bit kind of difficult to measure why necessarily that happened to them as a unit, you know. And I think that's maybe where people kind of get the idea that they're not necessarily the most like the best unit, because obviously, you know, they're not technically like in that space. They're not on the same level as the other units that existed or came out at the exact same time, and I think that's always something that's a hindrance, you know. I don't think people enjoy when units come out at the same time and have such a grave disparity. They obviously also require themselves to be fully on the time travelers category, whereas, you know, Zamasu and Goku Rose don't really have that kind of restriction. So yeah, I think overall they're not bad. I just think comparatively maybe they're not as good as people wanted them to be. I think Zamasu and Goku Rose do set a high bar in terms of their like overall performance. And yeah, overall I think to compare them is a little bit unfair in a sense, because you know, maybe they were concerned because the time travelers category was just overall I don't know, stronger, even though it kind of includes Zamasu and Goku Rose. I'm not entirely certain of why they decided to go this route. Either way, it's fine. Like I say, the unit will be, you know, they are still very good. So it's not like a massive train smash to be, you know, this way. It's not a massive train smash that they're not like this huge, massive unit that does like 18 million damage or anything like that. They still are far better than they were. It's just that they're not, I think, as good as other people wanted them to be. And I think that does speak a little bit to the unit. You know, I do think people get a little bit upset when that happens. Me personally, I'm happy with their EZA overall. I think it's great. I do think they have way more increased usability in that now. I think they are far more usable unit overall. And yeah, I just think in general, you know, they are fine. I do think, you know, we could have had a little bit more. I think what would have been good for them is actually the Int Mai getting an EZA. I know that sounds weird, but sometimes giving an EZA to a very good support unit as well does kind of help out. And Int Mai getting an EZA and becoming a very good unit would have helped them a lot, because they share a lot of links with Int Mai. And yeah, I just think overall that would have definitely helped them as a unit. It's not gonna have made them better than Goku Rose and Zamasu, but in general I think it would have made them a little bit more solid, a little bit, you know, better overall. But they still look pretty good. I mean, they're hitting good numbers. They can hit numbers out the gates as well, which I think is something they do hold over Zamasu and Goku Rose. It's not that Zamasu and Goku Rose take long to build up, but it is noticeable that, you know, they do tend to build right out the gate a little bit faster. They can have a higher defense right out the gate. They can have a better, you attack stat right out the gate. They don't have any build-up time, so maybe they were factoring that in. That for like the first 2 turns that they are possibly slightly better than Zamasu and Goku Rose, depending on the obviously team and everything, or on how many stacks they can get. But yeah, in general, it just definitely feels like they're not on the same level as units, which is a little bit of a shame, but it's not the end of the world. But yeah, overall, I think they look pretty good. Obviously, a big thing is their link skills. Brainiacs, Core Judgment, Prepared for Battle, Courage, Dismal Future are like good links, but not like crazy good. The problem is more the units that have them than the units that don't. One day when these units get easy A's, then yes, they're going to look really good alongside each other. They're going to look pretty crazy. But until then, they are going to not look as good as people again expect. I don't know. It's like they share a lot of links. Their best links, Brainiacs and Core Judgment. They share with units like Mai, which it's not like Mai units are terrible, but it is Mai isn't the craziest unit. Like right now, we're getting a lot of defense from Core Judgment, which again isn't bad, but it is noticeable that if you don't have Core Judgment, they do tend to not be as good as they could be, and I think that is a bit of a shame, at least for me. But yeah, overall, obviously, I think they still look good. I think they are very easy to use. The support passive is nice. Does make them a little bit more kind of flexible as a unit. You can run them more as a flexi unit. Run them. They don't need to maintain stacks. They don't need to do anything like that. You can kind of run them in like a 3rd slot or 2nd slot, and they can like beef up and support other units in the rotation, things like that. And I think that is also again something that is good. I don't want to speak like they're not as good. That's a good utility for them to have. Plus again, the stunning is directly useful. So yeah, I do think there is some feeling of additional kind of like service that they have that maybe other units don't necessarily have, at least for me. But yeah, I don't know. It's always difficult to say because there's so many different factors that people will like evaluate when looking at units. But for me, I think they're kind of on the spectrum of being good but not being like insanely powerful. Like a Rainbow one with full level 10 links, because I mean my unit has full level 10 links, does decent work but isn't going to blow your mind. I think that's kind of the sad thing, whereas a Rainbow Zamasu, Goku Rose with level 10 links does kind of blow your mind, and I think that's where the comparisons kind of get a little bit wonky, But overall, they still are good. They come out the gate very strong, especially on a Time Travelers team. And yeah, overall, I think they are very, very good. I just think there is a little bit of like unfortunateness with the fact that they have to be compared to the Zamasu and Goku Rose all the time, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, in general, still looking pretty good. Obviously, link-wise, as I mentioned before, a fairly solid kind of traditional link set that they've had for a while that links up very well with my units. They've got Dismal Future, Fierce Battle, Prepared for Battle, Legendary Power. All of those are fine. They share those with a lot of units, mainly Saiyan units, mainly Future units. But the big critical links are going to be the Brainiacs and Core Judgment. Both of those links are super important and are kind of pivotal to them doing well as a unit. So you've got Brainiacs, which is 15% attack and defense at max level, and Core Judgment, which is 25%. Again, just very, not like critical as in it makes them usable, but very significant difference between a unit that's got it active and doesn't have it active, I think is the best way to put it. So getting those active is kind of the main priority, and to do that regularly on a time travelers team, you do basically need a Mai. And I think that's kind of where things fall down a little bit. Obviously, when Int Mai gets her Easy A one day, then we're looking at a completely different story. I think we're looking at a much different unit and much different like performance, but it is something that is important right now, that it's not necessarily so easy for them to get, you know, all of these mechanics and all of their links active in super hard content. Like, you can get it active, you can do it in a lot of content, but just maybe not, you can't take Mai into red zone. I think that's kind of like the big stumbling block for these guys, whereas Zamasu and Goku Rose, they kind of got, you know, that big buff with strength, the strength Rose getting his you know, big buff, and his obviously Easy A as well. I think that also aids them, you know. So yeah, overall I think they are good, just think they are unfortunately also slightly limited by what's been constructed into their passive as well. But yeah, I still like them, think they're great. They hit some really solid attack stats out the gate, they do a lot of great damage, and yeah, just in general they are good. So obviously, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's everything you need to know about them. But yeah, I think they're good. I like them a lot. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. But until then, take care, stay safe, and bye.